G'day viewers, here we are at the end of another week, rounding off with another edition of Totally Fucked Up Friday. And I'm going to race off straight to totally fucked up neighbours from hell. A lot of people have these bad stories about really bad neighbours. Maybe they're loud, maybe they're parties, maybe they're bikers, maybe they're drug dealers. And everyone feels like they can never get rid of them, and you just wish for some magical thing to come along to make the cops finally take action and get rid of these bastard neighbours. Well, some people in Oregon who had this problem couldn't believe their luck when their drug-dealing neighbours put a flyer up on telegraph poles saying, "Heroin for sale." I shit you not, they advertised they were selling heroin, and the flyer included their address and their names. I almost think the cops couldn't believe this was really happening, and they knocked on the door and go, look, this probably sounds kind of stupid, but holy fuck, is that a bunch of drugs in there that you're selling? Yes, you want to buy some? I honestly think if someone's dumb enough to put a flyer up saying they're selling heroin, they're dumb enough to think the cops are at the door to buy. I just think these people don't understand what they're doing is criminal. The house had marijuana, heroin, a shotgun, money, thousands of dollars in cash, and a fucking crystal meth lab. And apparently the neighbours were so happy, someone gave the cops some fresh baked cookies. I don't know if those got drug tested as well. It seems like a kind of odd neighbourhood. But really, honestly, kids, don't do drugs. They make you stupid. And while on the topic of embarrassingly stupid court cases, let's go to Northern Ireland and talk about the strange case of Paul Moron. Possibly pronounced Moran, but when it's that close, you can't pass up the opportunity. Now, he's been jailed for starting a fire that almost burnt down the block of flats he lived in. Now, the reason he burnt down a fire is not because he's a crazy pyromaniac. He's a misunderstood alchemist. He thought by placing his own faeces on a heater, he could turn it into gold.
Oh, don't give him too much of a hard time, Angry. You've turned shit into gold before.
Yeah, but not by setting it on fire. You know, it's not heat, it's pressure that turns shit into gold. When I take these stories of people in the world who are just full of shit, it's just, you've got to put enough angry force on it to turn it into gold. Setting it on fire just burns your house down. I know, I've tried. Mr. Moron's barrister said in his defence he was actually a man of considerable intellectual ability. Compared to fucking who is what I want to know. But his barrister said the problem wasn't that he was stupid, he had a bad problem with drugs. Kids, don't do drugs. They make you stupid. Now that's enough of stupid, drugged out criminals. It's time to go on to the totally fucked up story of a man with a most unfortunate medical condition. Wesley Warren of Las Vegas has the extremely rare condition known as scrotal elephantiasis, which means his scrotum has swollen to weigh more than 100 pounds. Yes, talking about people with swollen scrotums and horrible medical conditions seems tailor-made for you, really.
Sweet, I thought you were still talking about drugged out criminals.
that would have been another segue to bring you in. But for those who don't know, this is as good a time as any to remind people, if you want to know more about AIDS, you should go and look at the AIDS Code Grey channel. There will be a link located about where my 100-pound swollen testicles would be. So click down there, and it tells a story of, again, this condition is more common in places like Asia and Africa, where it's borne by mosquito bites. Now, you had an unfortunate experience started with an ant bite on the scrotum?
I got an ant bite on my scrotum, and it swelled up and killed me.
Yeah, he got better. Kind of.
I got better.
But you can find out the full story on AZ Code Grey. There's a lot of background interviews I did while he was preparing. This was a stage show AZ did in the Melbourne International Comedy Festival, and there's actually the entire show you can watch too. Everyone who watches it thinks it's awesome, so if you haven't seen it, you should go and watch it. But Now, what's totally fucked up, I don't want to do, although the temptation's there, I don't want to do a lot of jokes at this guy's expense. No. Because it's fucking horrible.
Fucking horrible. I mean, you know, he's got this big sack that's hanging down like a space hopper.
Yeah.
And, you know,
what does he hold on to for the space hopper?
A one-handled space hopper. And, you know, and he's all sad.
Yeah, we are actually making jokes at his expense, but let's steer away from that. What's totally fucked up here is the fact he has a problem. He's been told a procedure that could fix it would probably cost $1 million. He has to come up with $1 million for this horrific medical condition. What the fuck? This is the richest country in the fucking world, and when someone's got a fucking horrible disease they could not possibly have planned for, and they can't possibly pay for, people just go, well, fuck you, I reckon you should just carry your balls around in a wheelbarrow. This is just insane. It's not just, you're subhuman. If you think this is a reasonable way to conduct your society, you're a subhuman fuck up, and I've got no interest in talking to you. But on top of everything else, it doesn't make economic sense to not treat sick people. We have a dirty communist health system in Australia, and it does wonders for our economy. People go to work because they're not fucking sick. They get their illness treated early so it doesn't become crippling. It makes economic sense to have healthcare, you fucking idiots who don't understand why the rest of the fucking world thinks America should have a proper healthcare system. Because it's only human and it makes economic sense. What you're doing is fucking stupid. It's totally fucked up. I mean, $1 million. You figured, how much do you reckon your treatment was probably worth all up?
With all of the expendables and all of the hard costs thrown in, my treatment was $7 million, right? Now, on a more, on a scale that it basically takes out everything that you would use again, like the building and steel stuff, it still cost $1,700,000. However, for the $1,700,000, I participated in the training of 15 new doctors. They pioneered 2 new surgeries, and they tried out 5 different experiments while I was in a coma. And basically they made their money back within 6 months, just me being there.
Interestingly, experimenting on AZ when he's in a coma, I do that too, by which I mean, you know, slipping roofies in his drink and then...
I like it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I like it. I wake up with a sore bum and a warm, healthy glow.
But, you know, everyone wins. I've got another website on the side that turns over quite a decent... You didn't know about that, did you?
Well, I've seen it, but I just didn't know it was me. The tattoos were different.
Yeah, it's... Well, I do new ones each time.
Yeah.
That's what keeps us in heroin and alchemy supplies.
I like the one with the unicorn, but is that a horn?
Yeah, if you rub it, magic mayonnaise comes out. That one's for the robot chicken fans. In short!
Yeah, Space Hopper guy needs an operation. It's not like you can't see it either. It's not like, you know, a mole on your head that you could just ignore. Like, this thing's huge, you know. It's like the whole medical fraternity's going, no, can't see your ball. No, you're right, can't see it. And this thing's like hanging down there. It's like a whole world near his knees. And you're just looking at it going, that's not right. And he's going, that's not right. And doctors are going, can't see you, peekaboo.
Seriously, if you showed this to medical practitioners in Australia and said, no, they're just letting this guy go, they won't treat him, they'll just go, no, funny, really, no, when's the surgery? Yeah, because if you presented like that in Australia, what they would regard it as is an opportunity. They go, this is rare, we don't get to do this work very often, we can learn. That's worth money. It doesn't cost money, it's worth money.
They get in all the students, they get in all the professors and go, now, what are we going to do about this then? He'd walk away, and the thing is, that $1 million that he needs to get his ball bag redone, he will earn back if he's back at work within 5 years, right? But when he's not at work, he's sucking down welfare, and he's also on depressive meds. Of course he would be. And he's also basically draining on the economy, and will do so until he dies. He's only in his early 40s, which means you've got 40 years of welfare suckage going on. But if he got back to work in a timely fashion, basically...
he'd be contributing again. You know? So in short, not helping people with bad medical conditions, it makes no sense. In short... Now, another thing that could have gone in tonight's Totally Fucked Up Friday is the Occupy Melbourne shenanigans that were happening in Melbourne today. It's just coinciding for me on a Friday. I actually got lots of video on it. Now, I haven't had enough time to edit all that together. There's a little bit of it playing behind me now. Insanely over-the-top, heavy-handed police action for a non-violent protest. I am going to edit that together and put a video up of that on the weekend. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I think you'll find the Occupy Melbourne video of interest. No matter where you are on the spectrum, no matter what you think of the Occupy protests around the world, I think you'll at least find it of interest. And I certainly didn't expect myself to be in the middle of all this thing, but shit happens in this big world, and lucky with all our little modern technology I could take video while I was there. So see you next week for Totally Fucked Up Friday, and see you over the weekend for Totally Fucked Up Occupy Melbourne. And, you know, stick around, tell your friends, send the heroin from your neighbours to me in the mail and I'll on-sell it for a profit. Don't, really. Don't. Every now and then I say something and go, that's so insanely stupid, no one will do it. Wait, that was a joke. Don't do it. Alright, so we'll see you again soon.